Hello, today's bonus game is Fibble. It's Wordle, but it lies to you. There's one lie per guess. So we're starting out with Tiger. It already automatically fills that for everybody. So every day it's a random different word. So what I like to try to do is use all the positive info. So pretend all of these yellows are true. Now, statistically, it's much more likely that a letter with a color on it is the lie rather than a gray letter because there are 21 letters that can be gray and only 5 letters that can be actually have a color. And so it's more likely that gray is lying. And when gray lies, it has to become yellow or green. But we're using that to our advantage by using all of the positive information, the yellows and greens, as if they were true, keeping in one of the grays, and then that helps us find contradictions, which helps us find exactly what's lying. So inert does that. So T, E, and R are placed elsewhere, and we're bringing the I back in as if the I was lying. And after all of that, we managed to avoid finding any contradictions. So what do we do now? We could do trend, but the problem with trend actually works. It would say the T was lying and should have been green. These ones over here tell us that we have one lie in our potential guess here, which is what we want. Wow, okay. And then trend has a lie in inert because it puts the E in the same spot. This has to find a contradiction. It did. T is gray here. So we actually have a contradiction on both. So why are contradictions powerful? Well, we know that these can't both be true because they contradict. This says there's a T in the word. This says there isn't. And so as a result, that's one of our lies between tiger and trend. And there's only 2 lies. There's one in tiger, one in trend. We're ignoring inert for a second here. And so that means that anything that agrees between tiger and trend has to be true because otherwise we would need to use 2 lies on it. So for example, oh wait, we have another lie here. Well, let me go over what I was going to say. For example, this E here agrees with that E, that there's an E in the word somewhere. So that means we definitely have an E in our word. We have something more powerful, which is the R is also contradicting here. And so between trend and tiger, we know one of the lies is in the T's and one of the lies is in the R's. So there's no room for lies anywhere else. So these are all true. Now we have the same thing here, the R and the T, the R and the T. So these are all true as well. Which means that either the R or the T is supposed to be gray because we can't make both of these lie. All right. And then the other one is correctly yellow in both spots. Do we omit the R or do we omit the... I think I want to end in NE. And I think it would make sense to put the R second if I'm going to do that. We can just ignore the T. There should be plenty of words that do this. Prone is one of them. So we'll just guess it. All right. So this has to be true. I believe the E is true, but it's not proven. The R was gray again. I don't really want to use the R again. So maybe like I'd have to use the O. It would have to be OR something NE, which just, there isn't a word like that. So we're going to use the T instead. And the T would actually have to go here. So maybe it's an ST word. NE. I'm looking at stain. I'm looking at stoon. We could do attune. Oh, that has 2 T's, doesn't it? Darn. Just nothing else can go before the T, either a vowel or S. And T can't be first, because then that would be a lie in tiger, which would mean R would have to be in, which wouldn't work. It would contradict around trend. Maybe we do use the R. I just don't know where the O is going if we use the R. I could use the O again. In fact, I could do stone. Oh, that's tricky. The green light is yellow. I like to assume that, again, because grays are almost always the lie. But this particular game proved me, is not a good example of that because we had a yellow lie here, a yellow lie here. This was a lie, this was a lie, and this was a lie on yellows. Well, actually, no, I said that the colors are the most likely to be lies. So this is the only outlier, is this T. All right. Never mind. As you get towards the end of the solve, you're actually more likely to have a bunch of colored letters, and so then you're going to get grays as the lie, and that's why I thought that we would have a gray as a lie over here. But anyway, cool. I feel like that was a good solve. Let's spin the bonus wheel and see what tomorrow's game will be. I hope that explanation was helpful for those who want to get into the game and haven't played it much. Also, you don't have to play in hard mode. I play in hard mode where I have to guess an answer, but you can absolutely just like do a one letter off guess and immediately find the lie like 4 out of 5 times. Very good strategy. We're playing Symbol tomorrow. That's also what we're playing. Let's see. I think today I'm also playing Symbol as part of my normal rotation for my other video. So you can watch Symbol 2 days in a row. I really enjoy Symbol though, so I definitely don't mind. Suggested by Brandon Levad. Cool. Well, how'd you do?